Hi there, my name is Copley, and today I'm going to do a quick overview of Xiaomi's latest offering for India in 2017, the most awaited and talked about Redmi Note 4. This phone is the rightful successor to the Redmi Note 3, which was Xiaomi's largest selling phone in 2016. Does this phone have what it takes to beat the Redmi Note 3? Let's go and check. Dancing is what to do. So this is the Redmi Note 4. In India, it is going to be sold in three variants. One with 2 GB of RAM and 32 gigs of memory. The other one with 3 GB of RAM and 32 gigs of memory. And the next one is going to be a huge 4 GB of RAM with 64 gigs of memory. If you have already seen or used the Redmi Note 3, you will feel at home almost instantly because it retains the same form factor. It has a 5.5-inch Full HD display, and to compare it with the Redmi Note 3, I would say that the display is a huge improvement. It looks much better than the Redmi Note 3. So let's look at the other parts of the phone. There is a noise cancelling microphone on top, an IR sensor which you can use to configure all the remotes in your home, the 3.5 mm jack, the front camera which is a 5 megapixel f2.0 aperture camera, the proximity sensor. On the rear, it has a 13 megapixel camera with an LED flash and of course the fingerprint reader. The camera of the Redmi Note 4 is a huge improvement over the camera of the Redmi Note 3. I should say that the photos taken on this camera are way better than the Redmi Note 3, and the images are more crisper, sharper, and the colors, they even pop out better than what was seen on the Redmi Note 3. And I could safely say that the pictures taken on the Redmi Note 4 are much better than the pictures which I get from my Mi Max. Now the back of the phone is a little different than the Redmi Note 3. The edges are a little tapered and the build quality looks more solid than the Redmi Note 3. You can also notice that there are antenna bands here and the phone tapers towards the edges. Now the best part about the phone is when you come to the front. Unlike the Redmi Note 3, which had a flat glass, this one has curved glass at the edges. It's called the 2.5D curved glass. I cannot show you in the video, but the edges are so smooth, they just slowly taper towards the end and it feels really good to hold. Here on the left, we have the dual SIM tray. The first tray can be used with a micro SIM and the second tray can be used with either a nano SIM or an SD card, but you cannot use both at the same time. So let's put this back inside. Unlike the Redmi Note 3, the speakers of this phone have moved to the bottom. They are now housed here at the bottom, and it still supports a micro USB charging point. The only problem with this phone, just like the Redmi Note 3, is that these speakers are not loud enough. The Snapdragon 625 chipset supports Qualcomm Quick Charge, but the sad thing is Xiaomi have not enabled this feature on the model which is being sold in India. So if you have a quick charger, this will not support quick charging. Please keep that in mind. In India, this phone comes with a Snapdragon 625 processor and it runs Android Marshmallow with MIUI 8 out of the box. The fingerprint sensor is really sharp. The minute you touch it, it just unlocks. And MIUI 8 has a lot of new features which is not there in MIUI 7. The phone comes with a huge 4100 milliamps battery, and I can safely tell you that it is a powerhouse. It can actually last for more than a day under general usage, and gaming on this phone is going to be a breeze because it has a lot of RAM. The model which I'm reviewing right now is the 4 gig model, which has 64 GB of memory. See, it has 53.8 GB of usable space. When I ran Antutu benchmarks on this phone, I got a score of 61,109, which in my opinion is a really good score for a phone with these specs. I also ran the Geekbench test and I got a score of 835 on the single core and I got a score of 2821 on the multi core, which again, in my opinion, is pretty good for a phone which has these kind of specs. The phone comes built in with a couple of applications and a set of pre-built apps like Flipkart and Facebook. MIUI 8 also comes with features like second space, and this phone has the feature of the quick ball. If you look at this, the quick ball is a small ball which you just press and you can create your own custom shortcuts. For example, I press home, it goes to home. This is multitasking. This locks the phone. This takes a screenshot and stuff like that. MIUI 8 also has another feature called scrolling screenshots. Now, for example, if I want to take a screenshot of this whole page, what normally used to be done is that you take multiple screenshots of the same page. But on MIUI 8, you have the option to take a scrolling screenshot, which can take a screenshot of the entire page. Now, let me show you that. I say screenshot, and I click on the screenshot, and it says scroll. I click on scroll, and the screen is scrolling. When you want to finish your scroll, when you want to finish the screenshot, you can either press the done or wait for the whole screen to be captured. And this is the screenshot, which is the whole screen. That is a really cool feature which is there on MIUI 8. The phone supports Bluetooth 4.1. It supports Wi-Fi A, B, G, N. The best thing I like about MIUI 8 on this phone in particular is that the keyboard on this phone is just so amazing. The tactile feedback which you get when you type is just beautiful. I just love typing on this phone. I think it's the best Xiaomi keyboard ever. Also, the transitions from page to page is very smooth and the animations are so fluidic. I've never seen it so good on any Xiaomi phone till today. I just love that part. This phone is already on sale on me.com and on Flipkart. The 2GB and 32GB model costs 9,999. The 3GB and 32 gig costs 10,999, and the 4GB with 64 gig, the one which I'm reviewing right now, costs 12,999. That's some great pricing, I would say. I can go on and on about this phone, but what the heck? I promised that this would be a quick overview. So let's just get to the verdict and see if it's worth it or not. Okay, so we've seen the phone now. Does it live up to the expectations? I would say yes, yes, and yes. If you're in the market looking for a phone in the price bracket of 10 to 13K, just blindly go and buy it. You'd never be disappointed. And here's a quick secret. If you're really planning to buy one, get the matte black color. It is just so amazing to look, touch, and feel. You'll come back later and thank me. Thanks for watching. See you soon.